380 ACP versus 38 Special and compact guns. And what we have today is our Hornady Critical Defense. Our 380 ACP is a 90 grain FTX, and our 38 Special is a plus P 110 grain FTX. I get this question a lot. Why are you testing on plus P 38 Special versus standard pressure 38 or standard pressure 40 Smith & Wesson or standard pressure 357 Magnum? Get that constantly. And the reason why is that doesn't exist. 38 Special plus P is very, very common, and if I get the choice to use it in a plus P, I'm going to use it. So we're going to see what we get with our 38 Special versus our 380 ACP in a ballistic test. 3-inch Taurus 856 here versus a 3.68-inch M&P Shield EZ. About the same size overall, so very fair comparison. So we are going to go through the chronograph, see what kind of velocity and accuracy we get at the same time. Then I'm going to do my 10% clear ballistic test. I'm going to go into just straight plain clear ballistics for our best case scenario, and then after that I'm going to do more of a real world scenario test where I'm going to go through 3 inches of clear ballistics to represent a pectoral muscle. I'm going to put in a 1/4 inch medium density fiber board, and on front of that we're going to have 4 layers of denim. The reason why 3 inches is because clear ballistics is like half as dense as human flesh. So when we go through 3 inches, it's like about 1.5 inch pectoral muscle. Another reason why I use this is because when I put this 3 inches up here on the front, it equals out to we have 19 inches for total for our first block here. And that gives me an easy way to see whether we got over penetration, because generally when we get in the second block like that, it's going to mean over penetration. As where if we didn't have this first 3 inches, it wouldn't necessarily mean that, and most of the time it would get into the second block. So it just kind of saves me for remelting, and all of that saves me some time just to try to capture them all in the first block. And then after that ballistic test, I'm going to shoot from, I think I'm going to do 25 yards today, kind of see what kind of practical accuracy I get on my full-size steel silhouette target. So let's get started with this test. All right, first up, let's chronograph our 38 Special. It's rated at 1,090 feet per second. I believe that's through a 4-inch barrel. So let's see what we get with our 3-inch barrel here. 110 grain plus P. 1,003. 1065. 1052. 1066. 1074, not too bad. Now our 380 ACP is rated at 1,000 feet per second. I don't know the barrel length on that. So let's see how close we get to 1,000 feet per second with our 380 here. 987. 960. 962. 976. 964, so relatively consistent and pretty good velocity overall for something like this. Now let's set our ballistics gel block and see what we get with these compared to each other. All right, just going to do our best case scenario, plain clear ballistics between 38 Special and 380. So here's our 38 Special. Now let's set it with our 380 and see how that compares. Go up and take a look. All right, so a little bit of difference there. We do have expansion with both of them. It looks like with our 38 Special, we got a penetration of about 11 3/4, just a little bit shy of what we want for our bare minimum. However, with our 380 ACP, that's a little bit shallow, 9.5 inches. You know, we're looking to get at least 12 to 18 inches is what's ideal. 12 inches, the reason why the FBI and IWBA and all them use those numbers, because they're calculating through like an arm shot from the side if there's enough, you know, penetration to get into the thoracic cavity and all of that. Now 9.5 inches, that would kind of equal maybe 4 to 5 inches in a human body. That would not be enough going from for our side shot, but a straight on shot that would work just fine. So that's kind of where we get those numbers. Doesn't necessarily mean it would fail overall as a personal protection round, but it does mean that in all situations this is not going to penetrate quite far enough. So But the thing we have to take into consideration is in the real world where there's ribs or sternum, stuff like that, there's denim, that's going to limit the expansion, which is going to drive the penetration deeper. So what we do want to see is better penetration when we put on our real world simulation. So let's do that and see how that'll compare. All right, 4 layers of denim and a 1/4 inch MDF. You know, I trust this test better because I feel like it meets more of a real world simulation. I like to do the plain gel test though, because that way you can kind of cross reference my data with what other people are doing with just plain gel. But you know, this is the test that I kind of trust. So 38 special through our denim and our MDF. Let's see how this does. Let's try our 380 now. All right, same thing with our 380 ACP. Let's see how this compares. Let's go take a look. All right, so definitely different performance there. With our MDF here, is our bottom one with our 38 special. The top one is with our 380. And a little bit of an oblong keyholing type hole going through right there. So that could indicate that we are starting to tumble with our 380 ACP. So with our 380 ACP, we got a penetration of about 12.5 inches. And I feel like this is going to be more of a real world what you might see. And if you've ever studied bullets that are pulled out of actual bodies and stuff like that, they oftentimes do look like that. Unless you're talking like a gold dot or something, where we don't necessarily get expansion. So, you know, that just barely meets our minimum in my opinion. Now with our 38 special, the bullet is backwards. There's a ton of damage, which that would also indicate tumbling. But there is significantly more damage with that 38 special. And we did not get very much expansion, just a little bit of deformation. But what we got here is about 16.5 inches overall penetration. So what I'm seeing here is that the 38 special, I feel like, is pretty acceptable. You know, we were just a 1/4 inch shy with our plain gel shot, and we are not over penetrating with our MDF shot. As we're with our 380, our plain gel shot, you know, that would work, but not through a side shot, and this is enough, sort of. So I'm just seeing that with the 380, we are lacking a little bit from what I want to see with that. But our 38 special seems to be relatively typical of an okay performing round. So that's what you get for that. So let me shoot at my target, because sometimes accuracy plays a part in this. Because, you know, if a round might perform beautifully in here, it might be because it's loaded too hot to be relatively accurate. So let me shoot at my steel and see how accurate these are. All right, 25 yards from the target. One thing I really like about the Hornady ammo is they come in 25 round boxes if they're below, you know, 40 caliber, 357 SIG. If they're like a 35 caliber bullet or less, they come in 25 instead of 20 like normal. So it gives you a few extra rounds to practice with. So 25 yards. Let's see how this 38 special shoots for me. Wow. I don't know how I missed that. And I do still seem to see a little bit of this gun favoring to the left. You know, my other guns don't shoot that way, but that one does for some reason. So let's see how our little MMP does, see if it's more accurate. Go for a headshot. Alright, pulled that one a little bit high. But overall, I'm definitely seeing a lot more accuracy with that 380. Let me back it up to 50 yards because I couldn't hit at 75 with my MMP before. Let's see if I can do it at 50. Alright, let's see how 50 looks for me. 38 special. I will kind of have to aim to the right with this. So I'll just aim to the right edge of the target. Don't know where those other last two hit. Aimed in the same spot every time. I'm not seeing any hits to the right of the target where I was aiming, so obviously it was heading to the left. M&P, I think I can hold just center with this. All right, that's very easy to shoot. Just almost no felt recoil. That's something I didn't mention before. Just very little recoil. So, you know, when I unboxed this thing, I couldn't hit it 75. It probably was just the ammo. So let me try it 75 now with these rounds and see how they do. All right, 75 yards from the target, 38 special. Again, I think I'm gonna have to aim quite a bit to the right. So let's see if I can make a hit with this. No, let me aim off the target to the right. All right, I aimed about 5 feet to the right off the target. So tourist quality, yeah, there you go. Let me try the M&P. Now with this, I could not hit anything at all. I didn't make a single hit, I don't believe, at 75 yards with the American Eagle ball ammo that I tested in the past. So let's see how the critical defense does. 75 yards. Just gonna aim center mass. I started to do it well, and then when I started missing, thought I was doing the same thing, but overall, I'm gonna say those misses are on me, and I think that ammo is very accurate. So it's really hard to call a winner here. You know, taking my revolvers out, or my own personal handguns out of this, and my revolver out of this that shoots really far to the left. If I had a properly functioning 38 special revolver, compared to something like this, and I would say this is pretty ideal for 380 ACP. If I had to compare these two, it's really hard to call a winner here. I guess the 38 special won this ballistically. However, it did it with double the recoil. And with this, I'm holding 9 rounds, your typical 3-inch barrel 38s holding 5 to 6 versus 9. These are half the recoil and seemingly more accurate, more shots on target. Boy, it's really hard to call that. All I can say is the 38 special is a more powerful cartridge, a little bit more effective. However, the 380 isn't bad. I'm not going to call a winner here. I'm just going to say, you know, they both did okay. So that's what you get today with our 380 ACP versus 38 special Hornady critical defense. So as always, comment, share, and like, and thanks for watching.